Okay, I baited you guys a little bit, but here's why you shouldn't be upset about it. Unless you believe I have the power to hypnotize or I've mastered the Jedi mind trick, then you already knew before even clicking on this video that the words I say have no power over your decisions. Influence, perhaps, but I can't force you to do anything. I cannot force you to do anything. I just made you agree with me, didn't I? The most imperative question that you need to ask yourself before making any fragrance purchase, or any purchase for that matter is, but we'll just say fragrances, you need to ask why. There are levels to answering this question. Level number 1, the addict response. Because I want to buy something, so I have something new to look forward to receiving. Definitely not a strong why. Level 2, the collector response. Because I want to buy a new fragrance. Simple, not very strong, but at least it's conscious. Level 3, the functional response. Because I want a new fragrance that I can wear for insert life scenario. We're getting more specific here, which is a good thing. And level 4, the explorer response. Because I want a insert scent profile type of fragrance that is unlike what I own or have ever smelled. As you can see, the most specific. It's important to be honest with yourself about which level you typically start at with your purchase decision making. In my opinion, the lower the level you start at, the healthier your decision making is. When making our next purchase, many of us start at level 1. And the worst part is we're not even aware of it. I can relate to this. I used to buy stuff just so I know I have a package coming that I can unbox, and I would feel weird when there was nothing coming in. It would be unexciting. This is the sign of an addict. You can find out which level you typically start at by simply asking yourself the question, why? Why am I purchasing a fragrance? And then see which of the 4 levels I outlined best answers that question for you. Anyway, aside from going too deep as I usually do, I really just made this video as an excuse to share a random assortment of fragrances that I'm loving right now, and I just want to get them on your radar. All 7 fragrances will be available at Max Aroma. We talk about them every month. They are a wonderful source of an overwhelmingly large selection of fragrances to choose from at some of the best prices online. They will be the first link below the like button. And if you happen to buy one of these 7 fragrances, I guess I was right, but that doesn't feel like a win for me. I hope it's a win for you because I hope you're buying something that you truly love. Let's dive right into it. This is in no particular order. Our first fragrance is from the house of Fragrance du Bois. They call this Cannabis Intense. Now, they sent this to me earlier this year, and to be honest, I was a little bit hesitant about it because I also have another cannabis fragrance from them that they call Cannabis Blue. That is an intriguing fragrance, a very special fragrance, but it's also extremely particular. It does really smell like the damp, earthy, pungent green quality that cannabis leaf can bring. It's pretty particular. I have to be in the mood for that. I thought this might be the same, but thankfully it's not. The cannabis here is definitely a major player, but it is toned down. This scent is mostly accented by citrus and cardamom, bringing this slightly juicy, fresh, spicy feel to the scent. And there's a lot of woods in the background. There's overall this dry texture to the profile. I like this a lot more than I thought I would, and it has been a fragrance I've reached for a couple times on evenings out. I presume it'll be one that I'll wear even more as we move into the cooler months because I think it really just works best for that time of year. But if you've tried Cannabis Intense, let me know and let everyone else know down in the comments. And if you haven't, maybe check it out at Max Aroma. I do believe they have some decants available for just about every fragrance they sell. That's Cannabis Intense. This next fragrance is no stranger to my channel. I've been very open about how much I love this stuff. This is Creed's Original Vetiver. I just really like Creed's Original Vetiver. It's one of my favorite go-to fresh, clean fragrances that has a classiness to it. It smells upscale, it's green, it's fresh and soapy, it's kind of smooth and creamy in a way. It's a simple scent profile. I recently took this on a weekend getaway as my only fragrance for the weekend. I wore it every single day and I loved it. It kind of blends in after a while. You don't really detect it super strongly after the first couple hours, but it's still there. It just gives you this nice clean vibe that is so easy to be next to and just really pleasant when you do happen to catch that occasional waft. So it's a simple scent. I don't have a whole lot much more to say about it, but if you love Creed Original Vetiver as much as I do, let us know down in the comments. And once again, check it out if you haven't tried it. I have talked about this fragrance in a recent video as well, so I'm going to save you a little bit of time and not explain it too deeply, but from the Turkish brand of Régalien Istanbul. This is called Hammam. It is created to depict the serene nature of Hammam, which I think in Turkish means bath or bathroom, but I think culturally this is like kind of a therapeutic experience where you're getting a massage of some sort mixed with a bubble bath. It looks really exquisite. I'd love to try it sometime, but this basically smells like that. It smells fresh, clean, soapy, light, fluffy, musky, very simple, doesn't change a lot on the skin. It's just a vibe. It's a very specific personality that you can wear to supplement your own when you just want to smell clean and inoffensive. This is a great way to go, and it also just smells of very high quality. You can tell from the bottle, the way this is constructed, the materials, and you can also tell from the juice when you do spray it. That is Hammam from Régalien Istanbul. We have a darling from Xerjoff. This is Uden. I didn't always love Uden when I first tried it. I definitely liked it when I first got this bottle, but the more I've worn it, the more I've liked it. And I really enjoyed wearing this just the other day. It is this kind of lemony, bright citrus fragrance with this warm, rich background of coffee. I think maybe some rum, maybe vanilla. It's kind of creamy and lemony. If you imagine sweet, creamy lemon, like a cake or a pie of some kind, but made a little bit more rich and dense, again, with coffee and that booziness. It just smells fantastic in the air, maybe borderline, a little bit mainstream. Definitely reminds me of a Chanel fragrance. I think it's Allure Homme, even a little bit of Allure Homme Edition Blanche. A lot of people do say that, and I definitely corroborate that. Has a tiny bit of a mainstream appeal to it, but it does smell really pleasant in the air. It has just the right amount of complexity to make it a little bit more special than your typical mainstream scent. You can pretty much enjoy this year round. I have not tried Overdose. I know many of you guys will ask me that, so I haven't tried it yet. I'd like to sometime, but in the meantime, Uden is awesome. Here's a fragrance that is new to my collection. I've only worn it one time, and I can't say I was completely moved at first spray, but after that first hour or so, I was really enjoying this fragrance. This is an aquatic with a lot of depth to it. This is from a house I've never heard of. It's called Once Perfume, and this is called Explosea. The presentation with these fragrances is beautiful. It's simple, but it's kind of iconic, and it's just really attractive looking. This is, as you could imagine from the name, an aquatic fragrance. There is a richness here, though. There's this musky, woody, kind of almost bitter herbal quality to this fresh, salty aquatic scent that is very powerful. I have seen people connect this to Mega Mare from Orto Parisi, which honestly I haven't tried, so I can't say that is true or not, but multiple people are saying that, so maybe it is true. I don't think it's quite as strong as that because that is known to be a nuclear warhead, and I don't get nuclear performance out of this, thank God, because I don't really want that out of any of my fragrances, especially an aquatic. Aquatics can get really annoying when they're too strong. Obviously, I still need to try Mega Mare because so many of you guys swear by it. Nonetheless, I would say maybe if you're looking for a less serious or less bombastic version of that, that's not exactly the same, maybe check this one out. It is a bit of a special niche aquatic that has some great quality to it. That's something you could wear for anywhere, anytime if you are an aquatic fan. Let me know if you've tried this one. That is Explosea from Once Perfume. Next is one of the newest fragrances from Electimuss. They call this Spice Darno. This is a creamy, almost coconutty vanilla cookie vibe. I get something almost dessert-like about it, but at the same time, it's not overtly gourmand. There's some resins and there's some woods in there that make it smell a little bit more like a body scent and not just like you're smearing sweet stuff all over yourself. This is kind of special occasion, maybe night out, date night. It does smell pretty delectable in the air. It's something that will get attention in a very delicious way. It lingers in a beautiful way, and I love this on a night out, especially when I'm going to be outside or in a more open space where it has room to linger and move. Smells wonderful in the air. Let me know if you've tried this one from Electimuss, once again called Spice Darno. And finally, from the house of Alghabra, another Turkish brand that does it right. This is one that when I first smelled it, I was almost disappointed because I was reminded of Tuscan leather, but when I actually wore it, I realized this is its own thing. It's very special and it's kind of unique for a leather fragrance. They call this Ancient Fortress, and this does have that fruity leather feel. Leather armchair with red berry kind of leather, but it's also aquatic. It's fresh, not necessarily salty, but it's such an interesting element to add to a leather fragrance. I really enjoy the wearing experience. It kind of deviates it away from something like Tuscan leather or ombre leather very aggressively. As soon as you get it on your skin and you smell it around you, you realize this is its own thing. It's quite green and watery. There's some sharpness here from juniper berry. Again, it's a fresh leather, and that's pretty special. I don't think there's any overtly fruity notes in here, but something about it is kind of fruity sweet. I couldn't tell you what it is, but this one is worth checking out. Let me know if you've tried Alghabra Ancient Fortress. All right, if you've tried any of these fragrances, let us know down in the comments. And if you haven't tried any of them, do check them out. They're linked down in the description. You can get their faux leather wrapped decants, which are really cool, easy to travel with, and you can get an idea of a fragrance without going in on the full bottle. But I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Peace. I'll see you in the next one.